And the Sistersville ferry is out of the river after taking on water Friday, April 12th. Now the city is waiting on insurance and the Coast Guard process to determine what comes next. Mayor of Sistersville, Bill Rice, said the company River South Beach out of Pittsburgh brought in a crane and spent hours rigging the ferry to safely lift it and place it onto the barge. He said the process began after the Coast Guard was able to get there from Huntington. Right now, the ferry will remain on the barge until insurance assessments are completed. Pending the insurance adjuster's approval, the ferry will be taken to Bel Air Harbor Services, where it will be repaired if it is not deemed a total loss. Should the boat be totaled, Rice said they have options.
I've already got River Salvage up in Pittsburgh has made me, they've got a couple boats for sale. And they've already told me that they would sell them to me if the insurance company would agree to it, if that's where they paid off at. And they would even take the old barge in as like trade-in.
Rice said the ferry will stay put until the damage assessment is complete, so the city doesn't rack up dry dock costs before a repair plan is finalized. He hopes the process of evaluating the damage will be quick so that either repairs or a replacement plan can begin.